I hope everybody can hear me. And yeah, my name is Dmitry. Actually, I work in Riga and live in Riga. We have sound engineering and music production school, which is called Sound School LV there. Also, we have recording studio, whatever. As Gins mentioned, I worked for Yamaha for a number of years. And yeah, I actually want to tell you today about enormous amount of products because Steinberg is a old company which is here since 90s, I guess, and they had their first Cubase for Atari computers. If someone remembers what it is, it's like really old school, and they always were kind of one of technologically developed, one of the most technologically developed companies in this market. They kind of try to put everything which is available at this moment, everything which music technology allows us at this moment to put in their softwares. But they have a lot of them. And today we are going to speak about Dorico, which is their brand new product. I have to start with it because it's recently released notation software for creating scores and learning and teaching music. Cubase, which is their flagship software, DAW, which is pretty famous, and most of you, or half of you at least, know what it is already. I'm going to speak about Wavelab, because a lot of people are interested in labs today. Software which is created for saving your time working with audio files, different aspects of it. And I'm going to mention also hardware, audio interfaces basically, which are kind of essential. I truly believe that no one is even close to Steinberg audio interfaces in this price range at this moment of time. So we'll start with Dorico. Anyone knows or heard something about it? Yeah? There is a software, like regularly used software, which is called Sibelius. It's like a standard for music notation. Sibelius is used in every music school by every music teacher. Every composer knows at least something about Sibelius. There are other softwares like Finale and Notion and whatever. There is freeware stuff like MuseScore. But Sibelius team somehow left Avid, which owns Sibelius now. And they were picked up by Steinberg as the whole team right away. And they were offered, hey guys, we offer you to create notation software, which is new, and we will not ask you anything more. You just have some period of time, and we just want you to deliver notation software and do what you think is right to do. So they kind of had second chance to take all mistakes of Sibelius into consideration and create something which might be a little bit different. So they did that, and this is Dorico. It's not finished yet completely, but it's published already to start using that. And they will put new features during this year, and actually I will try to explain why it's so exciting. Actually, I'm not into music notation software. I'm kind of sound designer, sound engineer. Of course, I understand a little bit of solfeggio stuff. I can play a little bit with music instruments, but I never was into notation. And it took me about 15 minutes or 20 minutes to get into this software. And I'll just give you today an idea of what it is and how it might be useful for you to learn, write your music, and share your music with others. Yeah, it looks like this. So let's just create something, empty project. The main concept in Dorico is that you can create players. You set players which will receive as output scoring, printed out or just files, graphical files. You can add players, sections, or the whole bands here. I will start with just one player. Let's start with basic case, and I'm going to keyboards and getting piano, and that's it. Actually, Dorico works with is powered by Cubase audio engine, and it also goes with this Sonic SE bundled with it. So that means that sounds are pretty good, and you can play back what you're writing in notation software at pretty good level. So here how it starts. I'm putting so-called caret here, and then starting to enter notes. Dorico is designed to make it possible just type in your music. So you just type in notes as they are, like C means C note, D means D note, and so on. Just let's type, say A, E, F, E afterwards. Something is wrong here. People who know something about music, notation, sees that something is wrong here. So the Dorico actually makes it possible to put music information here without defining tempo and time signature, which is essentially cool. I tried MuseScore and software called, it was MuseScore and Sibelius, and never was successful in getting into it, because I always was limited. I don't know the rules, how notation is created. That means that to put the note, you need to preset some rules to make it correct, and only if it's correct, it allows you to enter your information. Dorico is designed in a way when you can actually start doing that, and it corrects you and makes it right, make it look right. It actually teaches you somehow. And that was really exciting for me. So I just started to do something here, and I got kind of results. And then I have to edit it, of course, but it started already. So let's add second hand, maybe A, and let's put it down. And actually, starting from here, I can set the tempo. And software is designed in a way when everything might be done with keyboard. I'm not so powerful here yet, but the other guy which left us today, he made presentation yesterday in Music Academy. He's kind of really typing music on the fly, and that's how it's supposed to be here. So it's pretty intuitive, and the information is kept online. You can get all these shortcuts on kind of help website, which is hosted in cloud, and it's pretty easy to learn it. How it works is it's intuitive, because let's say I need to add tempo. It's just Shift T, tempo. So I'm adding tempo, like let's put 90. All semantic elements are located here at the right side. You can recall them with keyboards, but if you don't remember how to do that, you just can scroll here, go here, and choose the right symbol. Let's say tempo usually represented with words in notation. Yeah, I don't remember what it is, 90, but actually it's I can always check what it is. It's about Adantino, 92. Yeah, but I'm not sure. I just put 19 and it works fine. Afterwards, let's put our time signature. So it measurement, Shift M, and let's put 4/4. I will be simple today. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty enough. That's pretty enough to do a lot of things, and I'm just duplicating by pressing R, repeat, and after doing that, let's make some variations as well. and say I want this to go down. And then just play back from the beginning. So pretty simple and transparent how to use it. Actually, that concept, which is related to players, let's go back to setup. You can always add some more instruments. Say I want flute or pitched percussion, maybe xylophone. It edits everything automatically, though it has a lot of secondary control options. You can change things by places, control, visual representation. These guys are really into engraving. They investigated a lot of old libraries with all those fonts, music fonts, styles, and so on. They try to put as much as possible to make things look good. Finally, it's music notation software is more about look of your notation, about convenience of creating good-looking scores, and Dorico is all about it. Finally, let's make just something happen here. I would put some triplets maybe. And repeat it several more times. I think this should be enough for our awesome composition today. And let's move forward. We have kind of ribbon concept. It's like step by step. I set up, I write it down, I create, I engrave, I play back, and I print it out and give my scores to my musicians. So the concept is like I can engrave. In engrave mode, I can do pretty much everything. Like I can add titles, I can change those titles, whatever. And it uses so-called music frame concept. And each frame is just a frame, and you can put everything inside. Let's say, in my case, I have pretty simple project, just one piece of music, but sometimes you have a lot of movements, a lot of sketches, a lot of ideas, and you can recall into that frames everything you have in your project and control it and manipulate, resize it, and change stylings and so on. So in my case, I will keep things simple enough. So I will not do much, but just let you know that that's possible. Playback mode is not something really important for now, but it created a core. You see what the idea is. So you can represent stuff you created as we usually see that in DAW. So we see those notes and their lengths, and people who are in DAW really understand how it works. It's like a multi-track concept. You have your mixing console and your instrument, and you have this, which is mixing console. You can solo, control volumes, even put effects, and result actually is exportable to audio file. That's cool. Once it's pretty. This playback part is pretty limited. It's not DAW. I cannot do much things. I cannot move those notes here. I can shorten them though, but they will continue doing that. They will develop, and they just reserve this part to make it possible later. Dorico still lacks a lot of functions, among them such as chord symbols. and let's say drum notation. You can create drum part though there as one line, but you cannot create drum part when you have your kick, snare, hi-hats represented as notes on one clef. But it will be added soon, and it will be free of charge. And finally, we can create. See, this is part for piano player. I have part for xylophone. I have part for the whole notation. I can set up how I want to print it. If I want landscape view, I can do that. I can export as things as files. In engrave mode, also important feature. This is only notation software which allows us to put pictures inside. Actually, I can just export any picture I want, and it's not a problem here at all. So let's do that. Let's say whatever. Yeah. So that's the basic idea behind Dorico. And before I finish, I would like to mention that if you have any questions, just ask them in process, because it's fine today to ask questions in process. Just raise your hand and I will keep an eye on you. And before we finish, I would open so-called music XML, because Dorico actually opens MIDI files and music XML files. And music XML is kind of a universal format for music data, which also keeps these semantic elements for notation. You can create something in Cubase or whatever software, and export that as music XML and continue working with Dorico, or vice versa. But let's create new project. Usually, when you do that, it will not look as good as it should be. I mean, any music notation, you have to adjust everything. I just found in Google a tune of one of my favorite composers, Eric Satie. This one. So I just import music XML file inside. And actually, that's how it looks like. Maybe tempo is not right, so let's add tempo, which might be 60. And starting from this point, it looks fine. Actually, visually, it looks more or less correct with some mistakes, but we can easily correct them. For me, that's important because I was learning this tune on piano somehow, and I got a problem, and I figured that problem when I looked to the music notation. I figured out that he changes measurements here, and that made sense. I started to count differently and I played it correctly, and this is the reason why we even. Such similar case shows that music notation is a useful thing to anyone who is into music in general. Even for sound engineer, it might be a good idea to get into that. So, yeah, that's might be enough for Dorico for today. Do you have some questions? Yeah.
I have one question, Dmitry, about, you can copy your project and put the data from one project into another project. Can you do this yet with Dorico?
Just by selecting and Control-C, Control-V. It's not a problem here though, because I just selected everything on this page, and I can easily transpose things. Or I can copy by Control-C, open another empty project and just put it inside. And as it supports this open measurement, I will not put measure from the beginning maybe, and it will still copy everything to another one. Yeah. So somehow you can do that. Yeah. It will not be like export, import data or whatever. You can do that by exporting music XML, by the way. Yeah, but still, yeah, you can do that somehow. Because Dorico also is awesome because you have it's really high performance. You can keep thousands of projects opened. In each project, it keeps so-called flow inside. So you can move data from flow to flow, move data from one project to another project, and it's like this. It's convenient. Any other questions? Because I will move forward. I have to move quickly today. We don't have much time, and please forgive me for this tempo. I will be pretty dynamic with it. Next thing we are going to speak about is Cubase. And as I understand, a lot of you guys are Cubase users. I looked to the application forms yesterday, and at least half of you somehow were using Cubase 8, 7. Are there Cubase 5 users? Some of you. So I will explain why I'm asking that. A lot of people making the conclusion about Cubase, they compare Cubase 5 and any other DAW which is released this year. And Cubase 5 was released 10 years ago. Why Cubase 5 exactly? Cubase 5 was widely spread as pirated version. So everyone knows Cubase as that old Cubase 5, which goes with no content, kind of with no instruments, with no effects. Cubase is not like that, actually. It's full of content, it's full of effects, of everything. And it's pretty modern and full of features. And I explain to every time I meet someone who is concerned about it, this DAW. I just have to do that. I know that well because I started with a pirated version of Cubase as well as many of us. Yeah, it's like there's nothing to hide. Many years ago, that actually was gateway to world of music, of sound engineering for me. And I was not satisfied with many. I worked for a long time. I was not satisfied with many things, and I started to use something else. And I was amazed later on in 2012, when Cubase 7 was released, how precisely they found out what's wrong and changed that. And they continue to do that. Maybe not so fast as we want, but they still making improvements. And I would like to speak about those improvements today. But before that, maybe let's just see how fast we can create a simple sketch with this DAW. And I would do that by adding instrumental as instrument track here, and just by adding so-called groove agent, which is nice. Cubase 5, if we speak about Cubase 5, so when it was there was lack of kind of MPC style sampler or slicer. It was here from Cubase 7.5. They have Groove Agent SE, which goes with enormous amount of content. It has also really cool acoustic drum imitation, which might be like we always like when we have a lot of sounds. Yeah, and actually Groove Agent full version, which you can buy a separate product, allows you to use way more kits of drums and styles of drums. But this one actually works fine when we sketch something. And this one will also go with this engine, which can kind of allow you to generate fills and breaks in real time, even during jamming. But I enjoy that because it goes with a bunch of MIDI patterns, which you can actually put your own stuff here from your libraries. It's not a problem at all. And it's quick how we can put something inside and start dealing with it. So let's do that. Yeah, I have these drums. And also I would add grand piano maybe. So Cubase is preset based. If you understand that preset concept, I'm adding track preset. It's kind of instrument plus FX chain, and you can preset pretty much everything in Cubase. Even your own layouts, window layouts, shortcuts, mixer layouts, and it starts from tracks from here. So I'm adding acoustic grand piano. Next step, let's say, let's think about variations. I'm duplicating this drum pattern, but I'm thinking, maybe I want part B to be different from it. I want to play around and try something else, but not sure about it. So what I'm doing this new duplicate version. I'm creating new track version, removing this one, going to my instrument, and I'm putting several, I don't know, fields in a row, and you can easily roll back by switching my track versions, vice versa. So now I will glue things together here. And next thing I'm going to, part A, is to start making music, to create some chord progressions. Cubase is powerful by this. You can use, let's say, chord pads. And chord pads allow you to kind of ready-to-go MIDI presets of chords, and they put in combinations. But the cool thing is that you actually can play with voicings of these chords. And as you see, it adjusts the whole combination. Like if you adjust voicing, it re-edits voicings of all chords in this package, and also play around those tensions. And what I'm going to do, I will recall, let's say, A minor scale, just for simplicity. And let's start doing that. Let's maybe put 4 chords in a row, or 5 chords. If you go to editor, and as you see, Cubase now looks pretty much like any modern music software. You have those sections divided and organized, and I can easily work on a small laptop screen with it. It actually is one of Cubase 9's features. They added this section concept here. Each chord will be displayed and shown to you, and it's extremely useful for music teachers and for understanding what they actually just played. It goes even further, but this is just start of these opportunities of understanding what you actually played. And yeah, let me put kind of tension for my chord here. Maybe I had to start with it, but anyway, it will work. So I'm adjusting things from keyboard, and if you need to work with Cubase a lot, I would really suggest you to get this, to manipulate with editor from your keyboard. It really saves you time and makes things convenient, because actually it's possible to work without mouse at all here. Nice thing here is, let's say I want to play something back, record something inside my Cubase. We have different ways of how we can record things. Like I can record and save every take in the history. I can record and add every next layer to previous one, and so on. And Cubase allows us a lot of opportunities to do that. But I will start here with basic pattern. Oh, it's here. So maybe I have to record something. As far as I recorded, I might be interested in knowing what I just played. And here it comes. Cubase actually allows you to generate chord track. I'm going here to project, and we have chord track and create chord symbols, actually it works like this. 257 actually in A minor. Those are not just markers. This is chord track, and it actually is something more than just markers. I will show you in a minute how we can use it. But the powerful thing is that we have also notation here, which is pretty flexible. I need to make some adjustments, of course, but it's not so complicated, and it can be saved as preset, as I just did. I just recalled preset for A minor, and that's it. It looks fine enough to continue working with it. Let's say add some new notes and so on. Why it might be important? Because if I want someone to play what I composed, I have part with saxophone, but it's not realistic enough. I'm not happy with it. It's not a problem to create a music notation here and send to guy who reads it and make him play that. That's the way how sound engineers and producers interact with real musicians. This is a wonderful way, because it's weird when producer tries to sing something to a saxophone player. It sounds really weird and not always work. But it's way better when you just give him notes. And actually, chord track allows you to do that. Chord track generated allows you to show chords here, and that's it. And then you go to page mode in Cubase. You go to page mode, scores, page mode. Go here. Let me generate chords again. And just export your scores and send them by email. You can export them in any graphical format. You can send them to the printer instantly. That's it. By the way, Cubase is extremely powerful with its collaboration engine. It has so-called VST Cloud menu with VST Connect Pro. Pro is like separate product, but Cubase itself goes with VST Connect SE and VST Transit. VST Transit is more like a cloud storage service where you can share your project stamps with others and find collaborators. It also goes with VST Connect SE, and this is engine which allows you to record someone remotely. And the most interesting is that it really works. I mean, anyone with internet might be recorded as he is nearby in your studio. The only thing a person needs, the person does not need, there is no need for him to buy Cubase. The only thing he or she needs is more or less good audio interface and software which is called VST Connect Performer, which is freeware and might be downloaded on Cubase website. VST Connect SE though allow you to record only in 16 bits and only one instrument or one track at a time or one MIDI channel at a time. Again, person might play with your instrument, with your contact player, with your Helion, with your, I don't know, synthesizer. If you buy VST Connect Pro, you can record multi-track as well. This engine works pretty much like Skype. It calculates latencies and creates feeling for both parties as there is no delay. Of course, more or less good internet connection is required, but even 3G nowadays might be enough, or 4G, might be enough to ensure good recording there. That's cool. So just print out your scores, invite somebody as collaborator, and you can record remotely. That's Cubase. That's about Cubase. I will go forward here and just will mention some things about chord track. Actually, chord track is more than just this is way more than just chord markers. You actually can I will generate those chords again. Chord symbols. It suggests you what to do and what to put between. Actually, chord track sends MIDI data by itself. If I will create, let's say, new version of this track and leave this one unmuted, it plays back. I can hear what's happening. If I'm not happy with chord between, I can ask chord track to suggest me what to put there. And I have proximity. What works best and what's more experimental. If I receive my chord track, it's actually converted to MIDI like this, just drag and drop things. If I want to add some other instrument, let's say, okay, let's put this one here, let's mute our chord track, but let's add bass line. Or maybe let's add a track from preset and write down bass here. Let's say fretless bass. This part is also redesigned. This one is pretty much as it's expected. You see all instruments, you go inside, you can surf through the bundles you have in Cubase. It always was a problem here. Now it looks fine and it's pretty quickly understandable and usable. I will go there though. I have my own MIDI pattern libraries. So I preset them before, like this one or that one, MIDI bank, and I put this file inside. The idea of chord track is way more than just markers, because you can just go inside this part of inspector. This tab is called inspector actually, and connect your MIDI part on this track with your chords or your scales, because your chord track actually generates scales, or both of them. And that means that stuff actually is played back correctly, harmonically. This MIDI part was completely it was completely random, and I can put it quickly inside. And that's powerful because we can play around with it. We can apply different variations. And Cubase is software which is extremely powerful with its scripting. We have a lot of programs which do kind of stuff we can manipulate as bulk with this MIDI pattern, like divide time twice, align velocities, and so on. But you can actually create your own scripts in Cubase. That's why it's cool. So I'm going to MIDI, and I have logical editor, logical presets. And in this case, let's say standard 1 and half tempo. So this option, or I can reflect this as mirror and do a lot of stuff, manipulating on the fly with this, let's say reverse, mirror things. Cannot find this mirror. Transpose instantly, play around with velocities. And these things are connected with my shortcuts, and yeah, that's how we can move forward. Here I would like to finish with this quick sketching things. Let's go to mixing quickly. I will explain some cool features which appeared in Cubase 9 exactly. They're connected with mixing mostly. They were related to interface, as I mentioned. There are some other stuff which I will mention a little bit later. But let's open project, which is kind of mixed and almost finished, but with some small mistakes, and we correct those mistakes. Maybe some of you can find out what the mistake might be. Yeah, that would be pretty awesome if you communicate with me somehow. But this is a song. this kind of piece.
No, 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 I am not trying to save the world, but I thought I'd
Basically, the whole band playing recorded in Cubase. Cubase has such a feature or module inside which is called control room. While you set up your playback, I highly recommend, you know, Cubase user probably knows this, F4. I highly recommend not to set up your audio interface outputs here, but take a look, put your attention to studio and control room. Everything must be set up properly via control room. It's actually your monitoring studio. You have those cue points. You can set up which monitoring mix your musicians are receiving, how loud is click for sax player, how loud are drums for vocal, singer, and so on. You can balance up to 4 monitor mixes. You have a convenient panel to control these things, which is called control room. You can control loudness of your talkback. You can even put plugins on your monitors only without affecting the actual output. It's kind of I use software which is called Reference 3 speaker correction system, which allows you to measure frequency response of your room and speakers and correct this margin, and you can kind of put this on monitors only. It will not affect the actual output of your rendered audio file. This is awesome feature and really flexible panel. You can, let's say, control, listen in mono, your mix down. You can quickly switch between and do a lot of stuff here. And also you have modern R128 metering in Cubase, built-in modern way to make decisions about your loudness. If I will shorten this big story about our R128, but some of you might be into that somehow. You can actually see what your loudness is by modern standards here in Cubase, and it's bundled and convenient to use.
I'm not trying to say.
The thing is that they redesigned in 9th version, they redesigned old effects. Let's go to vocal, maybe. Here I have my vocal, and I have a lot of processing there. I will just put in a row different stuff here, just to show you how it looks like. So they added compressor, which now looks like this one. They added gate, of course, which looks like this one. Added panner. It's not panner, it's called autopan. This device, you see kind of new visual representation. They kind of improved that, but it's boring to listen and just like try to find out what's the difference. I will show you some things which might allow us to master things, perform mastering, and it will not be worse than, let's say, isotope products allow us to do. I'm personally, me and guys I work with, we use isotope for mastering most of things, which we are going to put then on SoundCloud or YouTube. And this is kind of standard for nowadays. But what I'm trying to tell you, all these things are put in together. This is like just built-in Cubase stuff. There is no need to buy something else. You just buy one package, one DAW, and you get everything bundled and put in one cool bundle, which allow you to start from simple idea and come out with complete track like we have here. And they added, of course, envelope shaper is different now. Envelope shaper looks like this. And they've added frequency, which is brand new EQ. Frequency is EQ, like a linear phase EQ. You can switch some of its bands to linear phase mode.
I am not trying.
You can also work in stereo, like it's mono, but each band enabled might be converted to mid-side mode. So linear, mid-side. And it actually allows you to do such things like listening what you're cutting out. Pretty much
I am not
a lot
trying
of stuff.
to save the world.
I'm listening what I'm cutting out, monitoring this. Pretty much stuff which is usually bought as separate product, like FET filter, whatever. Again, now it's put in package. This EQ, some other stuff like multiband dynamics, multiband envelope shaper, like there is such a plugin from previous versions like quad fuzz saturation, multiband saturation. If we put it together, it really makes sense that we can do pretty much the same things which are possible with isotope. Isotope Ozone 7's price is even more than Cubase. And we have means, like we have tools to do pretty similar stuff here inside. So let's see what's mastering in Cubase looks like. Before that, I would like to close this one. Maybe you have some questions, guys, at this moment, because you're speaking with us, with each other. Maybe you have something to tell me as well, guys. Yeah.
It's good.
It's fine because when yeah.
Does it have transient designer or?
Yes, Cubase users are pretty into envelope shaper it has inside. It was there since I don't know when. It actually has a device which is called transient. It has envelope shaper, which is kind of one band, and envelope shaper, which is multi-band. But it also has dynamic saturators, a lot of them. Like I mentioned that quad fuzz, I will show it. And it's pretty nice to have it. So I just launched Cubase. If some of you guys tried to launch Pro Tools once, it seems like advantage as well. How fast I just closed and opened it again. Yeah, I just wanted to start from the scratch here because I have vocal changed. So look, transient envelope shaper looks like this. This one is multi-band. It has also a bunch of presets for any type of any case of life. This one, this tune actually is mastered but wrongly. You can notice kind of ducking effect. Loudness goes up. It kind of when kick drum is hitting, all instruments go down. It's because wrong limiter is here on the master chain. It's just limiter. So let's get rid of it. No effect. It's not so loud now. What we can do about it? Cubase now goes with this fancy maximizer. This one works with two modes, classic and modern one. This is optimized like the exciter itself, and also has mix wet control. I will put critically all parameters for now. Also, I'll open my meter here. So, yeah.
I am not trying to.
Kind of.
The controllable output is clipping.
Every output is clipping now. Sorry for that.
I am not trying.
I think this one should put on 0. Yeah, should be put on 0. That's why. Thank you. So this one
I am not trying to save the world, but I thought I'd take it away.
works like in extreme position, and it still sounds nice. I have this one in extreme position. It's not never like this. It kind of flattens all the dynamics in total dynamics of this song, and still goes without any. It actually is distorted somehow, but with such level of compression, that's awesome result. I will put here something else. It will be brick wall limiter. And Cubase goes with pretty nice brick wall limiter inside. So minus 0.3, which is recommended selling. It also has intersample, detect intersample clipping option, as Isotope Products has. And what we have as an output. These characteristics, which is short-term loudness, like really loud EDM track, is about -7 short-term LUFS. Yeah, it's like very loud. This kind of live band track sounds well with critical limiting, with critical parameters on my maximizer, and it still kind of sounds okay. This tune exactly, to speak about this tune, might be put about -10 there, in terms of short-term loudness. So let's go there, just balance my mix back. Maybe this way, maybe modern still. And let's listen.
But everything I do is just no use.
That's mastering tools and audio signal processing in Cubase 9. Actually, they did good job. It's not so kind of, there is nothing revolutionary, but they added finally, and I think that now we have pretty much everything to finish our work from very start to very finish. There are some other features which I should mention. First of all, they added, they have so-called plugin manager for a pretty long time at the moment. You can create your own custom lists of plugin, organize, reorganize those lists, recall them in pretty quick manner. But now they have this blacklist. And first of all, Cubase 9 is no more 30-bit. It goes without 32-bit plugin support. It's only 64 bits. But it actually puts every plugin it's not aware of to blacklist. You can still re-enable it. But I'd prefer to disable all my plugins and re-enable them only when I need them. That's what I prefer, because I have a lot of them. And statistically, 19% of crashes, and all of us knows what the crash is, are caused by plugins, by third-party units. And the really good idea is to just blacklist most of them and take them only when they are required, because
they're not loaded into the...
they are loaded. But I don't. Previously, it was like that. I go to the plugin folder. I exit Cubase. I take those DLL files, move them out, relaunch my application, start to work. Then I need them. I can exit. I put them in, and vice versa. Now I can do that without leaving my project. I can enable, disable. When they are in blacklist, they are not disturbing me at all. They kind of disabled, and that's it. I noticed, since I installed 9th version, crashes, I can't remember I had one. It's pretty dangerous to say such things, because as you mentioned that, you get this immediately, usually. But I hope that we'll not get one today, still. Also, let's go forward, because again, I have a lot of things to mention here. I can speak about Cubase for many hours. Like there are a lot of mixing techniques, how we can do things quickly, how we can reroute stuff, how we can replace our drums, how we can tune our vocals, how we can create vocal harmonies. And again, all this stuff is bundled, no plugins, just bundled, included means which go inside the program itself, which you buy. If we speak about EDU version for teachers and students for 350 something, something about 350 euros. So let's open another project, and I will just quickly show you some maybe techniques, and then we can move to Wavelab. As this one is kind of actually, I don't really like this genre, but I use it showing Cubase to young people because they kind of enjoy this. This is kind of tune. You can add stuff really quickly here. Again, those loops and warping in Cubase, they are implemented in fancy manner. You can add and warp things and put different loops together really quickly. Speaking about drum editing, drum editor in Cubase looks like this. It actually reminds me of FL Studio somehow. Not everyone understands and uses that though, but I would, if working with percussions and drum, I would highly recommend to use this view in Cubase, because you can filter out quickly things, I mean slots of your instrument which are empty, and see only slots which are filled in with sounds.
So this view instead of what view?
Instead of note view, instead of this one, key editor. In key editor you have kind of, it's hard to figure out, you need to pre-listen what is where, if you don't remember, of course. Yeah, and here, as far as you go to drum editor, all you need to do, you go there and create drum map from instrument, and it automatically kind of collapses your view and leaves only stuff which is used somehow. Also, you can affect you can program it in way when you can control length or you don't. You can keep here kind of diamonds, but I prefer those squares.
Oh, yeah.
You can change this.
Shape. I can change the shape.
Yeah, you can change how things are represented. Yeah. So I put things together. I used a lot of loops here, but the idea is to create a tune which sounds like this one, just to make a basics. So I would like to mention new feature, huge feature of Cubase 9, which is more important for electronic music producers, but of course might be interesting for anyone. It's called by sampler track. Every Ableton user will understand what it is immediately. So when you put any recorded, just recorded vocal phrase here, you can play it back and control its pitch chromatically, kind of. The thing is that you can this is sampler which is built in inside and is convenient to use, like to resample your stuff on the fly. I really enjoy using Cubase also because of resampling workflows. Say I have my drums here, or my wobble basses or growls, whatever, and just in couple of clicks, maybe with shortcut even, I can do that. I can render in place, and it automatically mutes my source and creates audio inside instead. And it's a good time to just use your sampler track here. starting from this point, because you can just drag and drop stuff and start manipulating with it. And I have my my drum part. It supports warping as well. So if material is warped, like this vocal, if it's time stretched, you can also create harmonies. I will loop this one as continuous. This is also good opportunity or good tool to apply some granular synthesis techniques. Like we have looping. I kind of if I loop small piece of wavetable, I got a tone. I can create a tone of kick, and I can do that as quickly now. And this is like kind of new instrument which is built in. One of one of those features of Cubase which are represented with 9th version. Also, there was inconvenience regarding our mixer in Cubase. As you remember, or some of you remember, it was not possible to roll back your actions here. Now you can actually. Alt Z. But more than that, they created opportunity to overlock of your changes. Yeah, and you can kind of go vice versa in the history. Yeah, pretty much enough about new features. But if we speak about old features, there is still something to mention here. And I would like to represent some techniques how we can live perform in Ableton, not in Ableton, but in Cubase. Because some people actually have no idea how that's possible here. Today I've seen a video when girl just uses looping markers to loop herself, like to layer her voice, and she looped and she used Cubase audio tracks and this part just for recording and putting those layers over and over and over. Basic, simple, but still possible. But we have something more, way more. We have arranger track in Cubase. It's not 9th version feature. It was represented since version 6, I believe. But almost nobody understands how we can adjust this one for live performance. And we can. I created modules and like sections, like parts, logical parts of my arrangement. And now I have them there. Actually, I can trigger them. I will do that by mouse now. This is intro, B part or C part, another part, so what's possible, I actually can map this to my MIDI controller. It's not a problem at all. And pretty much everything is mappable in Cubase. But it's not like in Ableton. It's logical there. Just press one button and everything glows and you can select element and map instantly. It's not too complicated as well. But you need to understand how things work in Cubase to do that. So what you need your devices, your device setup, and you need to add Mackie HUI as module. Maybe if you have some other controllers or some other protocols for your control, there'll be something else. But most general, in most cases, Mackie HUI will work for you. Then you select your MIDI controller here. And then you can, there will be learn option, or you can simply find out which slot you're going to use. You can find this arranger in the list on a search. And you can find which slot, which trigger arranger event you want to trigger with this particular button or pad on your MIDI controller. This is the way you map things here. The same about quick controls. Track quick controls. You can see, you can learn them. You can select them from the list and like connect, put them with your hand. And quick controls available for every track here. Say, I will take this one, like those chords inside, and remove some highest notes from them. It's not a problem. I believe I can do that quickly. And I have third-party plugin. Though for those source here, I use built-in synthesizer, which is Retrologue. This one, pretty powerful. But to make some wavetable synthesis, I need Serum, though. So I will use Serum here. And quick controls are slots which are available here. What does it mean? They are contextual. I can map every parameter of my synth with any of them. And they are connected accordingly as I set up in preferences, like 1, 2, 3, 5 till 8. Each time I change them, number 1 will control something else. I can learn them from plugins interface. Third-party plugins, built-in plugins, it doesn't matter. After all, I just will record my automation. Nice thing about it, I create my automation. Let's do that maybe. Let's use automation in Cubase. And some people think that it's something impossible maybe to automate things in Cubase, but it's not. I really think that so we created automation, and this automation is pretty much editable in Cubase. It's not a problem at all. I can select things, I can copy them, I can duplicate them, copy and paste to, say, another parameter somewhere else in the project. Nice thing is that I can, let's say, adjust them like this and scale them and do a lot of stuff with these automation curves. After you got this one, you just bounce these tracks and render in place, create samples with your growls, wobbles, put them, let's say, in maybe drum rack slots, mesh them around. There is such built-in instruments as loop mesh. If you ever had a chance to try Cubase, try this one. Extremely good for live performances as well. Groove Agent is itself is cool for live performances as well, and you actually can find out a lot of means for performing live in Cubase. It's cool to do that here. Yeah, that's pretty much enough for Cubase for today. I also would like to mention maybe one more workflow quickly, which I missed a bit. So yeah, just new project, file, import, and I can import tracks from project. There was a question, similar question, if I can do that for Dorico. But actually I can import tracks from any other projects in Cubase since previous versions. So tracks from project, I find project. I select which tracks I want from there, and they're here. They're here instantly. Why I mentioned this track is recorded without click. It's floating all the time. I have no idea what the BPM is. Nobody has an idea. What's cool thing about Cubase, you can always handle this. First of all, I need to make it possible. First thing to do is to find downbeat. So this transient will be downbeat, but Cubase detects transients automatically. And I can navigate there quickly. I can select everything and cut it and do something like that. The thing is that software actually allows me to work with time in non-linear manner. I really enjoy when music is not fixed by tempo. It depends on genre, of course, but it's expressive to change your tempo. In the beginning of the song, use rubato in the beginning, use coda at the ending, make your tempo fluctuate, and it's kind of expression which was forgotten for decades. But it's important to do that. And when I record band, if it's comfortable for band, I say to them, guys, you can play with no click. Drummer should train himself with his click, that's for sure. But he replaces click when they play together. That's the thing. And I allow them to do that. But afterwards, I have to adjust my grid to the project. I have to make my click to follow them. And we can do that pretty much everywhere, in every DAW, but in Cubase it's implemented in fancy manner, I think. So let's tempo detect things, like analyze, and my click goes tempo detection. If I'm not happy that it's too frequent, I can divide by 2. Let's repeat it. Tempo detection, analyze, and divide by 2. Let's set our measure here. Actually, you can move those lines manually, bar by bar, and you can put your grid on the track, and click will follow. Yeah, but also automatic options are available here. Finally, I will rebounce everything and move those tracks in warping mode. I will not do that to save some time.
It's possible to add like hit points into the track.
It's not. It detects hit points automatically.
Can you add them also, like extra ones if you want to hit something?
Yeah, you go inside and you add hit points if you would like. You can control that. You go inside, and hit point detection tool is here. You can use this to control how many of them. But hit points are not used here. You can use hit points to divide this, but usually I don't do that. I keep things in an original way. Like I don't slice everything, because you will lose natural vibe of your recording if you do that. I don't quantize my hit points, never do that. But I do this, I kind of adjust my metronome to float and to play with drummer. And afterwards, I warp everything. And I got this. Let me open another project, step forward. When I get everything tempo detected, I kind of select stuff, go here, audio and bounce selection. I convert things to new files. After it's done, you go to your pool, or there are some other ways I prefer to do to act in this manner, and convert those files. You can see that this one is used. Those ones are used because they are matched as one. And now they're warped. It matches that they're warped. And what's possible? I can just, let's say, producer says me, hey, I want to fix the tempo though. You just remove these fluctuations, and everything follows. You can do more. You can, let's say, change. It's like follows. You can remove drums, replace drums. Okay, mute drums, add your, I don't know, groove agent. Groove agent, put kit inside, and generate some new patterns over it. Still possible. BPM. and so on. That's the power of Cubase, real power. I will stop here because, as I mentioned, it might take a lot of time to get into the details. If you remember some question regarding Dorico or Cubase a bit later, don't be shy to ask them. I can roll back. But let's go forward and let's speak about Wavelab a bit. And yeah, let's see it. How many of you were really interested in Wavelab today? Can you raise your hands? But some of you. Huh? Yeah, for others, I will try to explain what is it. So Steinberg creates also software which kind of is positioned as software for mastering and for mastering engineers, for broadcasting studios, for sound designers, for radio stations, for podcast makers. This is called Wavelab. The thing is that Wavelab is designed for people, for technical people, for kind of geeky people who manipulate with large amounts of files and have to process, convert, deconvert, edit them every day in huge amounts. This is Wavelab. So software which kind of is audio editor, just to make it clear. This is basic window for Wavelab. You can edit things, you can process, you can put plugins over it, you can cut it, you can manipulate. You can make simple montages as well. It has also multi-track view. But like you can create your podcast, like put a piece of music. Let me create montage maybe, just to make it clear as well. So let's make new audio montage, create, and let's add some tracks from group 1 here. Select all, okay, and yeah, why not? And we can put things in a row, and we can use several tracks to kind of create audio montage, like podcast or radio jingle, or even something else. Yeah, thanks. So, but the main purpose for Wavelab is mastering. It's like official position. Wavelab is created for mastering huge amount of material. And we'll get back there. How it looks like. I'll close everything. I have a lot of file groups. I don't need them. It's all the whole Wavelab environment. It's like this view master section. You have your files here, and you have different means to analyze material here. It's also important, usually, for people who deal with it to make things organized and conveniently placed on different displays, like spectrum analyzer here on this display. It has this concept when you can connect elements to so-called panels, control windows, and you can do that, like put things together and organize. But it also is cool because I can always recall basic layouts and get everything back. It's pretty convenient to use, and it started from Wavelab 9, which was released recently, like 1 year, a little bit longer than 1 year ago. Typical style of working here looks like that. I'm just opening files. I go open. Say I received files from Guy. Guy asks me to to make mastering for his album. Most likely, one album might be mastered in Cubase, but say you need to create mastering for several albums, and they have to be mastered in similar manner, which might be, let's say you're working in publishing company. I will do that for one album though. So select everything here, select everything, and put those files into my project. Open. They are loaded now. file number 1, file number 2, number 3, and so on. I have first track called Lazy Fruit. It sounds like this. Let me switch my audio interface. So let's go here, preferences. Let's pick my driver. View. So I have this track, and I use built-in means to master it. And Wavelab goes with a lot of plugins are the same as we have in Cubase. You can also use third-party plugins. It's not a problem as well. I did it before, must admit. So I'll put preset. The whole chain is put here as preset. Might be adjusted a bit, maybe, but the idea is like this. It might be it's not ideal mastering for today, but yeah, it's still pretty okay. Our loudness, our meters here, this loudness control and analysis and so on. But for now it will work. Wavelab offers you to use playback processing and check, let's say, how your MP3s will sound like. It uses this device to do that, encoder checker. You can check different types of conversion, how they will actually look like after publishing, when you put on SoundCloud, let's say. This one is third-party reference tree. I mentioned this today earlier. So I have Master Rig, which is a Wavelab exclusive device. It reminds Isotope Ozone interface. Of course, it's something similar, but it's different somehow. The main section is here, limiter, and you have maximizer and brick wall limiter features pretty similar to what we had in Cubase and what we discussed earlier. But this is a whole rack. It also has dynamic EQ, different linear phase equalizers, saturation, imager like harmonic exciters and imagers for mastering needs. And we can still enable them, by the way. Why not? Overdrive on high frequency here. And say I created mastering chain and I'm pretty satisfied with it. What's next? I can create so-called batch processor. So I'm go back, file, new, batch processor, and here I select which format I need. Say I need MP3 or AC for iTunes or whatever. I can create my own or use presets. I will take, this time I will take MP3 192 just to make it quickly. You can set it up. You can actually set it up.
That's essential.
I wanted to make it quickly. When it render, I just want like to save some time. Yeah, for sure. You can use, you can convert it to lossless format. It's not a problem here. Well, let's say FLAC or AC. Yeah, sure. Good question. But you have also naming themes, XMLs, like everything. You can preset. Then I go here and I just use this preset created. Let's save it, by the way, because I need to save it. I'll use this one and get the same chain from a batch processor and select the folder where my files are, and I run my batch processor. I wait for a couple of minutes and got the whole album processed, and the folder with output material contains output folder or several folders if needed, with ready-to-go files. More than that, you can use this batch processor, you can set it up and create so-called watch folder or somewhere in the network. And you say we work in team. We are a team of sound designers and we create sounds for video game. and I'm kind of manager, and I need all files to be processed by by the same chain of effects and normalized by the same requirements, or maybe I need even several options. I need files converted, or let's say I need lossless and lossy format, or whatever. I need uncompressed and compressed files. You just put your output files to that watch folder, and inside we got ready to go files to take them out and use.
Can you run parallel formats, like parallel processes and chains?
Yeah, you can you can run parallel processes here. Yeah, this is huge time saver for professionals who work in the area. Usually ask questions. So if I deal with mastering, if I make my own music, then I cannot live without Wavelab. Probably you can. You can master your own tracks in Cubase, let's say, or whatever else. But if you have to do that frequently and process a lot of files, probably you need Wavelab. And it's a good idea, let's say, for sound designers who make sample packs. It's a nice idea to have Wavelab. It's a nice idea to have Wavelab for game audio designers, for broadcasting guys, for maybe an editor at the radio station. He has a lot of music and he needs kind of align levels for. It's typical problem for radio stations, by the way. They have broadcasting processors which kind of compresses everything strongly. But it's way better to set up this processor not to compress strongly, but give him right files. Like different types of workflows are available here. My point is to show you what it's used for. I hope more or less it's clear. I must mention also that this guy has pretty strong features for audio restoration. Like if I put a file ripped from maybe ripped from vinyl, like this one, it's not good because my needle was not good. Vinyl itself was okay, but needle wasn't. I can save situation. Let's cancel everything. Actually, it was kind of compressed also. I can save situation somehow because Wavelab goes bundled with Sonox plugins like denoiser and declicker. That stuff is bundled inside and you can use it. You can apply spectrum editing inside. Let's say you have guitar recording and you have something like sounds from mobile connection, like those unwanted signals from mobile connection. You can find them in the spectrum and filter out. Actually, this is a way to use filter, but elegant one, when you can go through spectrogram and find out which you want to cut out, select how you want to cut it out, and apply this. You can do that. A lot of things here, guys make crazy things here, but it needs this needs some skills to save kind of records which are bad. I will not show that now in details, but that's possible in Wavelab. Also, Wavelab uses so-called curve EQ, that one. And just to shortly explain, you can analyze spectrum of one signal, kind of store it, and apply these filters to another signal, to another source. You can match spectrums of two recordings, let's say. That's Voxengo, but Voxengo curve EQ, spline EQ, the type of EQ is called spline EQs, is also bundled with Cubase. So So it's useful sometimes to match two guitar timbres, or you recorded vocal with one mic and then you have second part with different mic and you need to match them. I usually I take good recording and make it sound like this one, like old school vinyl. But I think it's enough to just know about it. Any questions about Wavelab?
Can you do automations? Like if you
Yes, you can do number of things with automations. Okay, like you have this fade in, fade out, and different parameters which might be automated from here. But the most important that while you're in montage, while you're here, you act pretty much like in DAW. Let's do something. Just put any file. Okay, not a problem. This file. You can put effects to the object first of all, like apply effect only to this object or that object, like in DAW is like Reaper. And some guys who work with podcasts really appreciate that opportunity. You can put effects to the track. You can apply effects destructively, change the source file. And you can automate things, of course. It was possible to automate it. Of course, you need to see envelope, and then you also can automate plugin parameters, but I need to figure out how to exactly. But it was possible, I'm sure. Yeah. So pretty functional thing. Any other questions? I will switch to audio interfaces then. Okay, so let's go there. No, I don't want to say this. I don't want to save this. Yeah, quick without saving. And let me tell you a bit about audio interfaces represented here in the line. We'll show you some pictures. Basically, we have all the stuff kind of here. Let's go maybe there. That's the product line. UR series. First of all, they were created once Steinberg became part of Yamaha. So those interfaces are created with collaboration of Yamaha's engineers. They're cool because there are two special things about them. Those preamps, which are used so-called deep red technology, actually just good preamps which are built in and bundled inside. I find out that those are the most stable in the line. I used a lot of, I will not call names, but I had a lot of troubles with other audio interfaces, even kind of respected ones. Imagine during live performance, you just realize that your audio interface, by some reason, is disconnected. You have to plug it out, plug it back, and find it in the preferences and reselect again. It's just in middle of performance. There was never such a complaint with UR interface. Never something similar happened with URs. Also, warranty cases. A lot of interfaces which I interacted with, and I interacted with a lot of them because I had to make bulk purchases for my school. I sold a lot, different by the way, not only Steinberg. I had a lot of complaints because something goes wrong, something is broken all the time. I'm not saying that it's not possible at all. Of course, warranty cases are possible. somehow. But I sold a lot of URs and I had no one warranty case. That's something strange, but it is like that. I really trust them myself. I use them a lot. They have many of them starting from UR242 have DSP processors which ensure latency-less monitoring and effects which you can hear during you perform or record. And I will start to tell one by one. This one is the smallest one, just like student case, like introductionary level, but mountable to iPad though. So it might become portable. Just one channel option. All these interfaces go with Cubase AI. We're limited version of Cubase, but that version of Cubase allows us to do a lot of things, like record, compose. It goes with Helion, it goes with chord tracks, with possibility to record and process and complete our song. It's enough to start with. Then we have UR22, this interface. It's here and here. It's like the very basic one. I would start with this one, by the way. First of all, why I'm so excited speaking about this? It was extremely useful for my needs. The thing is that I record all my lessons. I have to record them. I have such practice. And before that, it was a real headache to make screencast recording while you use DAW. I mean, to do that in good quality. I used external recorders. Some PC users will understand my pain. So if you ever try to live stream something, and it's always connected with routings, rerouting, additional drivers, installations, you need to figure out how to get output from your audio interface, route it to your recording software, and route there your input voice simultaneously, and still be able to do things in your DAW, speak, and record all the stuff mixed fine together. That interface is just basic audio interface for everyone, like two audio inputs, like microphone inputs, linear inputs, and instrument inputs. You can switch to instrument impedance by pressing the button. It has a direct monitoring option, as usual actually, as every interface, a similar interface will have. It has also MIDI in, MIDI out. Converters are pretty good. Quality actually is good. Recording quality is it stands out in comparison with other guys. Not too far away, of course. They're all pretty much the same, but this one is a little bit better anyway. It's not it's not less expensive as well, of course. But it's not all. This is, as I understand, this is kind of Yamaha's policy, not to make cheapest things. So for me, that one was important because it has function called loopback. Just enable loopback, run your OBS software, open broadcasting software, or OCam, or screencast, or whatever, and do nothing. Just your Cubase works with it, or your any other DAW works with it. It also allows you to play back songs from YouTube with the same interface, which is always a problem for PC to share ASIO driver. It allows you to share it between applications, not a problem. You just select the same loopback and you just start recording. Just record. The only thing you have to take care about just levels. Like you need your voice to be loud enough and compare with background music you play back from DAW. The same thing is extremely useful for live streams. Like if you stream a video game or a seminar or video tutorial, or just proceed a public event. Say I use this one, like UR22, to live stream a lot of events. By the way, as I understand, we live stream today's event as well. This is common practice today. That one is like streaming workstation somehow to ensure good quality sound during your stream. Should be considered like that. And as well, this is like the basic interface for everyday's needs. Like if you are singer, guitar player, if you have small studio, small set of monitors, if you create electronic music, this is the thing to take. Definitely. I think that there is no other kind of relevant players at this moment, like one of the best somehow. But they offered this bundle recently, and that's awesome, because by 270 or 270 euro or something, you got good microphone, condenser microphone, which is not like something extremely special, but is good enough to get studio quality at home, get good pair of speakers in this interface. Yeah, if you need recording studio and you are not owner of a microphone at the moment, a good option to consider. Another option, another member of the family is UR242. Pretty much the same, but this one already goes with DSP processors inside. DSP processors ensure it runs with application called DSP Mix Fix in case you are not Cubase user. Kind of routing panel when you can enable, disable, reroute, enable effects. Say you want to play guitar and hear reverb in real time without any latency. It's kind of direct monitoring, but with effect, which is not possible, as we know. If we need to put VST plugin, hear it, we have to disable direct monitoring option, but then latency appears, and latency depends on our computer's CPU. That one takes care about it. It allows us to use a lot of effects such as dynamic processing, compressor, overdrive. It's built in, it works fine, and sounds good. And that interface should be considered by keyboard players mostly, 242. Like it has two line-ins and two microphone inputs inside. So yeah, kind of first member of the family with DSP processing. That one is kind of number one interface for like the one of the most popular. Kind of crowd made its choice. It's easy to sell, by the way, because everyone wants it. Why? First of all, that one is an option for everyone who performs live. And live performance is essential today. And it has two pairs of outputs, like 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to hear myself, I need cueing if I perform live usually. And if I DJ, let's say with my laptop, I need that one to ensure that I have good quality, I have input something, let's say synthesizers, external synthesizers. And I can also monitor, let's say, put effects on myself during performance and use all opportunities DSP processing offers. Also, it has actually 6 channels. 4 channels are enough to record drums, by the way. It's like kick, snare, and overheads. And we did that with this one. It's pretty enough to do a lot of things, perform live or run small studio. Next one is like full recording studio of 24 channels. Actually, UR2824, kind of recording studio solution in price range below 1,000 euros. Actual price is 800, I believe, or something similar. I don't remember. Sorry if I wasn't precise. But that one should be considered in case if you need a lot of channels. Cubase is integrated. You don't need any additional like DSP Mix Fix panel. All routes are available from Cubase itself. In case you need more channels than 8, which are built in, more preamps, you just hook any ADAT supporting interfaces and use them like as one system. You use those optical connections to do that. You also can use external clock. let's say HD recordings usually, or HD studios, they are into that. Like they use rubidium clocks, external clocks to run their converters. And that's basically it about products offered. These are EDU prices. In case if you are students, in case you are a student of school or you are a teacher in the school, you are eligible for getting EDU discount. And let's say for full Cubase Pro EDU version, you have to pay about 340, 350 euros, while the full version of Cubase usually costs about 500 euros. Kind of big discount. And as soon as you upgrade to next version of Cubase, it's not longer EDU. It's like regular Cubase, and that's it. Whatever you upgrade next time, it's not more EDU. It's like full Cubase. You can use it forever. Actually, you can use it forever in any case. But EDU means that this is the same full Cubase with all functionality. Kind of you are limited with rights to earn money by using it. You can use kind of make music, but you are forbidden to sell it. Kind of. You are forbidden to use it commercially. Still no questions?
Does these sound cards, do they have their own mixer also?
Can they work as mixer?
I mean, do they have like
The 242 was the first one that
Two-
had a mixer.
242 has something called DSP Mix Fix, and this is kind of application. When we finish, I can plug this one in. I have driver for that, and you can take a look how it looks like.
work like without the computer? If it disconnects computer, does the routing still?
No, unfortunately, it will not work. It's that one is old interface, though. Yeah, it works only if it's hooked to computer. But Yamaha has different products which work as mixer, standalone mixers, and also works as audio interfaces. Just not the case. This is primary audio interface, though. Yeah. Any other questions, guys? You can still ask some questions, like privately when we finish. And actually, I believe that's time to round up. If you want to plug in one of those interfaces and see how they are implemented inside my computer, I have driver for this one. Let's say I can hook it up. I can run Cubase again and show you something privately in Cubase if you are interested in. I still have some maybe 20 minutes. But for now, thank you for your time and for your interest. Yeah, that was really cool. Thank you.
tänan, et tulite vaatama, kuulama. Loodan, et saite midagi teada. Nüüd neile, kes on täiesti Cubase'ile uued, et siin on student starter pack'id, mis ei ole küll, ma ei hakka üldse tegema nägu, et need on siia selleks ürituseks toodud, need on vanad versioonid ja neid on lihtsalt üle ja kui keegi soovib sellega tutvust teha, siis siin laua pealt võib neid võtta. Aga üldiselt Dmitry käest võib küsimusi küsida. Siin on veel juua, snäkke süüa. Keegi tahab WC-s käia, saab. Ja tulge ennast nagu kodus.
Yeah. And guys, if you are interested in contacting me, asking some questions about Cubase, asking anything, I also work as technical support, as support for Steinberg products. If you have issues, let's say, even bugs or something, you can email me, yeah, and I will help you. I have to help you. We have Skype sessions and so on, so feel free.
In addition to that,
the Steinberg product, I think you get 2 hours lesson for free.
Yeah, you'll get. I think that you will get that info in newsletter sooner or later. Yeah.